Holy motherfuck, I am tired. Like, really, really tired. It's late. But you know what? I thought to myself, you know what matters more than sleep? My Zoo Tycoon fans. So, I'm gonna make a video. Today we have a couple of... Fuck me. Hold on a second. Today we have a... I had to get my notes up because... Oh my god, are you fucking kidding me? I'll be right back. Today we have a couple... I didn't have my notes scrolled right, so I couldn't see all of them. You know, I have Notepad open with all my notes in it, and I gotta scroll to where I can see everything that's relevant. Just so you know, it's the same park. Got all these animals still from the last video. The links for these animals will not be in the description below. You'll have to go to the last video if you want to see the links in the description, because, I mean, these aren't the animals being featured in this episode. Time to hunt down this bulimic bitch.
I'm Papinio. I am Boner, the Skeleman. That's with 2 L's.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am PhoenixJape, and I approve of this badassery.
We got a couple of nice big uns this time. The first one, we'll start with Hell's Aquarium by Tyranachu. This one was requested. I know Promethean Venator requested it. Manatee might have also. Manatee's becoming a very active commenter, so he's going to be requesting a lot of stuff, I think, from this point on. He or she, who knows what the gender is? Who cares? I think the only proper way to do Hell's Aquarium is to actually build a few aquariums, so we can feature each animal individually. It's important to do that, I think. So we have 5 basic aquariums here. All 5 animals are tropical coast. So that made things really simple to take care of. Before we get into each of the animals here, I want to read the very small description that Tyranachu gave of Hell's Aquarium. A pack containing a selection of some of the most iconic animals in Hell's Aquarium. Very simple. I'm not sure what Hell's Aquarium is, to be honest with you. I think there's like a book called Hell's Aquarium. Maybe that's what it is. I don't know. Probably. Let's go through these animals. I want to save this one for last because it's dope as fuck. Alright, let's start with this one. I believe it's pronounced... I don't know how it's pronounced, actually, so I don't believe anything. But we'll call it the Halosaurus. Boom. Male and female. Just so you know, this mod, I believe, requires Walking with Dinosaurs, Cruel Seas, and one has died of illness. That's cool. Don't really care. So, make sure you should have Walking with Dinosaurs anyway. It's a fantastic mod. The different packs for the game for Walking with Dinosaurs, Cruel Seas, Land of Giants, and Spirits of the Ice Force, whatever. All those are used a lot for other mods, used as a resource. You should have those, and the dinosaurs and crap that's added is just dope. Alright, let's go ahead and stop yapping and show you what the Halosaurus can do, or what it needs. It's carnivorous, clearly. Fish, shellfish, and squid. Nothing... the food is going to be nothing special for any of these animals. I don't know why I'm even going over that. Alright. Ooh, so for animal enrichment, it likes little bitty fishies. There's little bitty fishies that it can hunt down and devour. It likes blocks of ice to play with too. I don't know if it has any... No, it has no shelters. It's got all the tropical coast things you would expect. Okay, you're not gonna put a tree, right? Like, I could certainly try, but it's not... No, it's not gonna happen. And next we have the Encodus, I believe is how it could be pronounced, probably. Again, I don't know why I'm saying... Okay, I can't... I don't know where it is. Where is it? There we go. much smaller than the other one. It's also carnivorous, and it has exactly the same food as the other one. Same enrichment. It has the same exact care as the animal we just put in, the Halosaurus. So the care is exactly the same, but these are fucking fish right here. Check this out. My zoo became more famous. That's weird. This is just a fun fish to watch. I don't know why. Maybe it's just because it's so well designed. The textures are good. The model's good. Here we have this giant mofo, the Tylosaurus. Look at the size of this beast. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. If I were to wager a guess, though, it'd probably have the exact same requirements as the others. Oh, what do you know? Huh. Same care, but look at that. Big! So cool. It honestly has a similar design to the Halosaurus. I'm sure it uses the same exact resource, so the same mesh, just different textures. The model is slightly altered, and of course increased in size for the Tylosaur. This one's cool. The Elasmosaurus, one of those plesiosaur type animals, clearly. I don't know if there's actually a name for that group of animal. It's another big one, and it also eats fish. That's really all it eats is fish. It has more enrichment though. It has a misty spring. That might... I'm not sure what that implies, but maybe these actually come up on land. It's quite possible. It's most likely going to be using, just based on the torso design and the flippers, that it's probably using sea turtle meshes with a completely unique model. That would be my assumption. I believe the Lipleurodon from Walking with Dinosaurs is the same way. I'm pretty sure that was in Walking with Dinosaurs. Was it? Yeah, it was. And this one, the Archelon. Oh yeah. Giant sea turtle. It also uses sea turtle meshes. Surprise, surprise. This one would most likely require land as well. It actually has shelter. It uses the desert island. We'll see if this one does too. No, but it does use the kelp bed. This is no different than any other sea turtle, but I want to make a comparison. See, here's the male and female leatherback sea turtle, previously the biggest sea turtle in the game, and here we have the Archelon right next to it. They're bigger. As you can see, they are quite a bit bigger. Not overly large. Not like it's not going to cause any problems. They're an acceptable size, and again, they're textured very nicely because that's what Tyranachu do. We're going to go ahead and throw these sea turtles out because we don't want them here. We're also going to call it Hellspawn, a name courtesy of 101 MBSD. Fantastic username. Don't know what it means, but there's probably a really deep meaning behind it. It's probably some CIA level coded bullshit. That's what I think. Now let's move on to our second mod, Pseudo-sukia by Lazardi, I believe is how we could say that. Again, I'm believing that we pronounce words certain ways, even though I have no idea. These animals are bizarre. Just compared to what we're normally used to, compared to dinosaurs, these things are just wicked looking. I love the design. We're not going to make individual exhibits for them. Most of them are semi-desert, what do you fucking know. But there are a couple temperate rainforests, and I believe... Hold on, it was here somewhere. Yes, temperate forest. So we'll just make a large exhibit of those three biomes. Here we go. All three biomes. We're just going to throw everything in here. Let's read the description first. The link that I'll have in the description of my video will not lead to... It'll lead to the download I have, but there's no description by Lazardi on that link. So I had to search Pseudo-sukia, and I found an earlier release where he only had 3 animals finished, and this was the description that he had. Pseudo-sukia was a UXP, which I believe is User Expansion Pack, that will feature some animals that was part of the Archosaurian clade Pseudo-sukia. They include crocodilomorphs and their other extinct relatives. Some of these critters were truly bizarre. From the armor plant-eating Atosaurus to the giant predatory Rauisuchians. I'm working on this here. From the ocean-dwelling Thalatasuchians to the terrestrial hypercarnivorous Sebasids. I believe is how you pronounce those. You know, that's my new catchphrase. Better not be. I better not keep saying that. That was my best guess on how to pronounce all that. Seriously, I'm not joking. Tell me how I did. Give me a score out of 10 in the description. We'll start with the Arizonosaurus. They remind me a lot of the Dimetrodon. Is it Dimetrodon or Dimorphodon is the pterosaur, right? Dimetrodon is what I'm thinking of. I'm sure I'm right on this. But you can tell me in the comments below if I'm completely wrong. I know you will. The really cool thing about this is that they, just like Paranoia and a few other mods, they have their own little outline when you have the animal selected to signify that it's from the Pseudo-sukia mod. Really cool. I love that. I wish more modders would do that. They have the shade structure and the rock shelter for their animal shelters. Their enrichment, they have tar pits that they like. I'll go ahead and put one in. Why not? And scratching posts. Perfect. Rub your bodies up against that. They are obviously carnivorous. I'm pretty sure most of these are. Not all of them, though. Next, we're going to move on to the Batrachotomina. Yep. This one's pretty cool looking. I like this. I like all of them. They're all bizarre. They're all Triassic period, by the way. Triassic was probably, out of all the Mesozoic periods, it was the weirdest one. Definitely the weirdest one. It was a big transition for life on Earth. This beast of an animal also eats only meats. Actually, it's more similar to most dinosaurs. It's got very similar enrichment and the exact same shelters as the other animal did, the Arizonosaurus. Next, we're going to move on to the... yep, this animal. This is another one that's similar to Dimetrodon. I seriously hope it's Dimetrodon. I'm gonna look. That is in the game. It's in Extinct Animals. It really is. I know it is. Boom, Dimetrodon. Here's a Dimetrodon for comparison. All cartoony and shit. Looks stupid. We're gonna put it in there just so it can get killed. I think it's wetlands. It is, so it's gonna just die. Hopefully. That was fun. I'm glad we took the time out of our day to do that. This Ctenocesaurus is... It also... meat. Same stuff. Same exact crap, basically. And here we have the Decuriasuchus. This one's smaller. This one's much smaller. It's probably using the same mesh as that one. But look how small it is. Oh man, that is neat. It uses the same stuff. I want to take a moment here. Look how well textured they are. These creatures almost glisten because their texture detail is so much better than that of vanilla ZT2. We're gonna move over in here into this area. I don't care what biomes these guys are in. It's just I want to go somewhere where there's more space. This one is the Desmatosuchus, I believe is how you pronounce it. I'm just doing that tongue-in-cheek now. It's gonna get really annoying though. Really old. This one is just... Look at that! It's so badass! Who knew the Triassic period was so heavy metal? Like, seriously, this thing looks like... It looks like Satan's house pet. I would say that's a fair description of it, right? And it's herbivorous. That is surprising. Same enrichment and shelters as the other animals, but it eats berries and stuff. I think it's pretty much berries, fruits. Yeah, all the fruits. It loves that fruit. And some leaves. A little bit of leaves in there. Wow. I'm gonna name you Satan's Little Helper. Another name courtesy of 101 NBSD. That is the only guy who has name submissions that I found in the description of the last video, so the rest of you just failed hard. 101's the only one that comes through for me. The CIA agent. Private testicle swinger is gonna build a nest for her young. Wow. Testicle swinger is a female. Was not paying attention when I was naming that one. Here we have the Ephigia, maybe? This one's really small. It's another herbivore. It also likes fruits, berries, leaves. It actually has a few more... Wait, what? How do you eat all plants, but you will devour a lizard and attack a squeaky toy? I think Lazardi actually mentioned something in the forums about these animals may be a little buggy, though this isn't a bug. That he was kind of in a rush to finish these, so maybe this is just a leftover enrichment object. These 3 right here, any of them with meat. Maybe it's just left over from the base animal that he made this off of. I don't know. I don't know how it's actually done. I haven't made any mods myself, but it's just an assumption. I think it's an educated guess. It prefers actually some different shelters. It likes those 2 still, just like the rest of them, but it also prefers the wooden shelters and the rock caves. Let's put in a rock cave because I really like this animal spirit. The other ones can suck my dick, but these guys, the Ephigias, whatever it's pronounced as, those guys are cool. Now we're gonna move on to the Pseudo-sukia. This one is very, very big. Wow. How big is it compared to the other animals? It's the biggest one so far. Outrageous. It looks like it's probably carnivorous based on the teeth I'm seeing there. Man, it's good detail on the mouth too. Man, it's nice. Yep. It's an original. Pretty much same old, but it is carnivorous, and it looks really dope. And I accidentally clicked on things I wasn't supposed to, so now I gotta go find this again. When we move on to the next animal, the Lotosaurus. We're getting small again. This one? That is a unique animal. That is something new entirely. What the hell is that? That is so fat. You're fat. You are a... fat ass. That one was me. That name's all me. Courtesy of PhoenixJape. It is a fat ass that is, oddly enough, a vegetarian, which goes to show that vegans are full of shit when they talk about vegetarians being healthier. This is a living proof that, well, not living, extinct proof. And there we go, they're also extinct, so much for being healthier, vegans. I jest. You guys are healthier than me. I eat crackers all day. Ew. Since that one had basically the same needs as everything else, we're just going to move on to this. This is the, I'm going to pronounce this one, Paratypothorax. Paratypothorax. You know, I think I pronounced that right. And also, it sounds more like a body part than an animal. What is it? It is herbivorous. It really loves leaves. Doesn't care for the fruits. Doesn't really eat fruit. Just leaves, hay, and straw and such. Everything else is the same. This is really cool though. It looks different from... It might be using... If I had to guess, it's probably using the mesh of the Ankylosaurus. And also it's snoring while awake, which is just frustrating. I don't like that at all. My least favorite so far. Here we have the Catholic animal of this pack, the Poposaurus. Oddly enough, these days, this species has been kind of leaning liberal, you know? It's kind of surprising. It uses... It's also got this second set of shelters that it can use. And, well, is it gonna be... This one's actually carnivorous, so the live food, the meat, all that makes sense and rich. I just placed that lizard in there. It is so boned. I am so sorry. I'm like genuinely sorry for what I've done here. Oh, this isn't gonna end well. This is not good for you. Woolly mammoth is sick. Did I not put anyone in your exhibit with you? I did. There's a zookeeper in here. He's just doing a terrible job. Here, guys. Try not to die. Okay? I mean, I don't care that much, but it's just advice, honestly. Now we have the Saurosuchus. It can't decide if it's a dinosaur or a Pseudo-suchian based on its name, so it just decided to take Saur and Suk at the same time. Rather finicky, fickle. A fickle animal, very fickle. It's a carnivore, like most fickle animals are. And it has the same bullshit. We're just not even going to talk about it. Here we have the Psilosuchus. This looks a lot like that smaller one that we had earlier, the Ephigia. Which... Oh? It is a lot like it. It is basically exactly like it, except it even has that weird carryover meat enrichment crap. It's the exact same thing needs-wise, except it's bigger. Well, let's look at them visually. Let's go find the small dudes. I cannot find the small dudes. Where did they go? You know what? I got a better idea. We'll just pause instead of doing this the hard way and just... Okay, here we go. Side by side. Let's drop into... Okay, we can't drop into first person while it's paused. You know, yeah, they have different textures. They have the same mesh and model. You can see that pretty clearly, but the textures are unique. So it wasn't lazy. The textures are so good. I am genuinely impressed. The Archelons are dying, I guess. Which is fine by me. I don't really mind. I like turtles, but not enough to go back to a mod that I already reviewed earlier in the video, you know? And the final animal of this mod is the Stagnola. This one is actually very similar to that one that sounds like a body part. Not that one. Is that the devil? That's the devil. Actually, it's similar to that too. We look at it here. It uses the same base, but it doesn't have the devil horns and crap. Because nature is scary and it likes to put devil horns on certain animals. Never understood. Never understood. Actually, now that I think of it, we probably came up with the concept of having a devil with horns because there are some animals with horns on them. So, never mind. I guess it's religious people that are stupid and copycats. I'm gonna get a lot of flack for that one. It was just a joke. I meant no harm. There seems to be a lot of reusing the same meshes and models, but modifying them slightly and giving completely different textures, which is fine because these are so well made. It gets more than a free pass. It gets my seal of approval. And it's a leaf eater. It likes scratching posts as well. has the basic shelters. That's Pseudo-sukia for you. Lots of hard to pronounce names, but my god, is it not a well-made mod with some fantastic textures to it. Like, Lazardi, I cannot wait for you to release the... I believe you said this was part 1 of Triassic, right? I'm going to assume that you're implying that there's probably 2 parts. I would assume 2 parts total. I don't see you releasing a 3rd part because that's a lot of animals. And I'm also assuming that we might move into another period. Maybe Jurassic, maybe not. But I think you worded it as Triassic Pack 1 or something like that, or Triassic Part 1. I feel like that's a strange thing to name if you're not going to move into other periods. Although I don't know how many of these animals are in other periods of the Mesozoic era. Because it's mostly Triassic that was... Oh my! Oh no, it was just... Oh man. What is happening over here? Yep, that was the Ephegia. It's actually the Dimetrodons that are killing everything. You were the one that was supposed to die. You're cartoony and vanilla and gross, and yet you're killing everything. Hopefully your mate is dead at least, right? Right? I don't know. I'm lost. This is... I thought this was supposed to be like... no. No. Dimetrodons are flourishing outside of their biome by killing... They're an invasive species. They are in fact an invasive species, and they're very good at it. Look at it strutting its shit. Like, look at me. I'm so hard. It just high-fived the other one. Did you see that? Did you see that? These guys are so hardcore, they don't even give a fuck. I actually kind of like the Dimetrodons now. It's now my spirit animal. That's it for this video, and I am slightly disappointed in you guys. No one came up with a name for the park itself. It's still sitting here asking for its name, but it doesn't have one. Because you failed. You failed me, you failed the park, you failed yourselves, and your mothers are very disappointed. Seriously though, I would love to have a few suggestions for a name for the park, and otherwise I'm just gonna recruit Promethean Venator to do it because I can always trust that guy, and I can trust Manatee now too. And I would like to have some animal names as well. I mean, you can, I guess you can pick specific species if you want, but it's better to just give me more star ratings so my zoo can be more famous for no reason. And also, it's probably it's probably better to just give me random names so I can slap them on the whatever. It'll probably work out better for this mod review stuff. Maybe in a few weeks I'll actually make a park. That could be fun. Well, I'm sorry to waste so much of your time. This is a long video. It had a kind of a slow start. My Hell's Aquarium part of the review might have been a little because I was still tired and it took me a while to get warmed up. Don't worry, Tyranachu, you're still a man. Or a woman. I actually don't know what your gender is. I don't know what anyone's gender is. On the internet, we're all guys and girls. We're all hermaphrodites. On that note, I'm going to leave you before I keep rambling. Catch you next week.